I'm not a part of protests, but I do a lot of media and I document protests. So usually I'm out on my bike just documenting the whole thing. But in this case, I don't even want to get out and document it. Because let me just explain the whole logic behind this. For some reason, right, every time there is a protest that involves everybody but us as black people, it's okay. But every time, and historically, you can look this up, every time black people have tried to protest, for some reason, like, the police see it as a red level, red alert. You know, they see it as, okay, we need to use force. And literally, you can put two groups of people, black people, and whomever you want to choose, and let them protest the same way, and somehow the force will only be used against black people. And it makes perfect sense for black people to feel this way about this protest. Like, even though we all might be a little different as black people, we all on one page when it comes to peeping game. And we all see exactly what y'all trying to do. And this is something you have to understand too, right? So you have a large group of, you know, Trump supporters. So they automatically gonna feel that any protest against their president is unpatriotic or some sort of threat. And a lot of those Trump supporters are crazy. Like, they're gun-toting crazy supporters. So if you put them in a position where they see large groups of people protesting against him or whatever's going on in the world, they immediately take offense to it. But if you put them in a position where a large group of black people are partaking in that protest, they immediately see violence. And even if there isn't any sort of violence, they will incite violence. They will literally start the violence and somehow migrate to only wanting to act on black people. That's why a lot of black people are saying, we sitting this one out. Because one thing that needs to be understood is we already had the Million Man March. If you're not familiar with the Million Man March is, look it up. We already had our grandfathers, great grandfathers, dads. They did that. And that was already millions and millions of black men. So we did that already. But in today's climate, with how crazy some of these people are, we're not doing that. Black people want to just be out the way and let everybody else do what you need to do. Because if anything pops off, let it pop off with those people. Don't let anything pop off and somehow we get pulled into it, but we suffer the most damage out of everybody. Because they'll do that. It's almost like they're waiting for that. You already got this weird segregation stuff that's going off. So it's like, why that before this? And I'm already hearing echoes over the internet. Out of all the days, they plan on banning TikTok again on April 5th. Why? And when we already have kind of opened that rabbit hole of when they ban TikTok is because they want to suppress information. And out of all the days on April 5th, why would TikTok, the most universal connecting platform, social platform, why would it be shut off that day? Out of all the days. Because hypothetically, let's say TikTok was banned on April 5th and all these protests was popping off, you wouldn't really know what's going on. You couldn't be on the Midwest looking over to the east. You couldn't be to the west looking over to the east and seeing these crazy forms of whatever the protest has to offer. So just those two things alone is suspect. But overall, I completely understand why all black people are saying, hey, we not doing this shit. I agree. I don't want to be out in that. And like I said, I'm usually used to being out in protests and stuff like that, documenting, but not this one. Because what also needs to be understood is that there's
ever tell me that TikTok is not symbolism. It's more than an app. It's literally a time. Every time they say, oh, they're going to do some shutdown or they're going to have a meeting about it, some big phenomenon happens in America. Okay, let me get this straight though, right? We already got the history of the Passover. The Israelites, they were freed, right? So you mean to tell me millions of people are going to go marching when they can literally set martial law into place right before Stay in the house. We will not be the lamb that gets sacrificed this go round. All right, okay? Because let me tell you something. They talking about they had to sacrifice the blood of the lamb. What is a lamb? A baby sheep. What are God's people? Sheep. Like I said, we won't be the people that sacrifice this go round. All right. Stay quiet, stay indoors, and don't even interact. All right?
Okay, so I made a video about April the 5th, and I didn't really give much context of what's going to actually happen, what's supposed to take place. I had a lot of people in the comments ask me, what's going on, what's happening, why, yada, yada, yada. So I'm going to go ahead and educate y'all real quick so you'll know. So I ain't got to keep getting that question, okay? So hold on. So boom, it says hands off, National Day of Action on Saturday, April the 5th, 2025. Third act joins the hands off. National Day of Action to stand up against those who believe they can take whatever they want. Our democracy, our future, our rights. So this is all about standing up against Donald Trump and Elon Musk. So apparently people are going to go out there with their little signs and say whatever they're going to say and yada, yada, yada. Okay, you can read the rest at the bottom. What's supposed to take place on that day. I'm not participating. And I know a lot of people that look like me are not participating. But this is just to give you education on what's supposed to be happening, because I really didn't give enough information in my previous video. I kind of just, told my people what we're not doing. But now you know why. Okay? Love you. Bye.
1 million people are going to march in the United States on April 5th. 1 million people.
Sit your black ass down.